Steely Dan are a rock band from Annandale-on-Hudson in New York State. They were formed in 1971, and Donald Fagen and Walter Becker were the two stable members of the band. They broke up in 1981 but reformed in 1993 with just those two of them listed as members and using session musicians for the recording. Becker died in 2017, but Fagen continues under the Steely Dan name. In their 52-year career, the career that started 52 years ago, they had a gap. They managed to release the whopping number of 9 studio albums. Hi, my name's Dan. So this was the 7th album by Steely Dan, and it was the last one they released before their big breakup the following year. I'm new to this album, but I'm not new to Steely Dan. I have reviewed some of their albums before. I can't be bothered to tell you why I've been doing reviews before this series, but I have. So let's get into this album. I would describe this as pop rock, verging into the kind of possibly the art rock kind of area of things. It's musically interesting without being too challenging. It's definitely kind of in the rockish area, but it's not a strong emphasis on guitars, certainly not on overdriven guitars. Now, apparently it was very meticulously made, and it took a very long time to make, and there were many, many takes. So, for example, possibly one of the most extreme examples, there were 55 attempts at doing one fade out for one of the songs before they got it. They decided it was right. They used a lot of session musicians and musicians from different places, including Mark Knopfler of Dire Straits, and the two members, of course, Donald Fagen and Becker. Donald Fagen taking the lead vocals. Sometimes there's a electric piano focus here. There's definitely some jazz chords going on here, some more interesting chords. There seems to be a feature of having tiny stops, which seems to be a thing that's doing kind of, it's not really stuttery. I don't know what to say. It's just got little stops in it. Maybe you can hear them in the little snippets that I put at the beginning and the end. It's good stuff. I would say it's very much my familiar territory in terms of music. I would compare them favourably against bands like Fleetwood Mac, Supertramp, 10cc, Manfred Mann's Earth Band. And Donald Fagen has a very distinctive voice, so I have no vocabulary to describe how his voice is. And in the past, when I've been reviewing his albums, I've kind of struggled with this because he does have a very distinctive voice, and I don't know how to describe it. But I felt like if I did have a better knowledge of the words to describe what singing voices are like, then maybe it would not actually be that useful anyway, because it would need all of you to have that vocabulary as well to understand what I'm talking about. But now, in the past, I've been doing written reviews. Now I'm doing video reviews, and I can put bits of music in. So it's great. You can hear his voice. So hopefully you've heard a bit at the beginning. Now you'll hear another bit at the end. Right, let's get back into the albums. So the songs here are predominantly about people and their characters that they've conjured up. And most of them are written as a kind of, monologue from one person talking to another person. So it's got kind of, it's not quite half of a dialogue. It's kind of structured so that you kind of, somewhat understand what's going on. But it's one person and they're talking to somebody else, or maybe a few other people. And they've invented these characters, and there's a certain seediness to the whole thing. There are drug references. There's negotiable affection. There's at least one night stand here. There's stuff about affairs, and there's Gaucho, which I'm really not sure what is the intention here or what it means. I went looking on the internet. There's lots of interpretations out there that people have put onto this. So this can be a skill in songwriting, and there's definitely a skill that's been used here, which is to write songs which are evocative, of something, but different people have different interpretations. of things. And there's quite a lot of songs that have done that very well in the past. I think Gaucho is one that's particularly interesting on here. I enjoyed the album. There's a richness to it. There's a lot to dig into. And from my other experiences of Steely Dan, I would say, so the bands that I've referred to here, as for comparison, most of them are British bands. I would say Steely Dan is one of the best, in my opinion, US bands around of this type of the kind of pop rock arty stuff from the, certainly from the 70s. If I have a complaint, it's that musically I felt it could be a little bit more exciting. I was more interested in the words and the songwriting than I was in the actual music and the feel that the music gave me. So that's what I thought. As always, I'd like to ask you what you think, so please do talk to me by leaving a comment, and that's it from me for now.